More garden cleanup and beautification is on the docket today. I've basically been bouncing around from flower bed to flower bed or certain areas of my garden, tackling one space at a time. So let's get into it today. Hi you guys, this is Nicole from My Carolina Garden. My garden is located in growing zone 8B and I am in southeastern North Carolina. Today I'm going to take you out with me to my island of Misfit Toys or garden of misfit plants, which I have named because the whole garden was created basically with misfit plants, things that didn't have a home, didn't have a place to be. So these are things that maybe people offered me from their gardens and I said yes, and then I didn't really have a place for them, so I put them out there. Or maybe I had perennials that were inside my own garden space, but you know, to keep the plant healthy and thriving, you divide up your perennials, and so I took those divisions and moved them out there until I found a better spot, etc. So basically now the entire goal with this garden is it has to be made, it has to be filled in with plants that are given to me, divisions, propagations, clearance plants, that sort of thing. Just no full price plants are allowed in this garden because it lets me then look back at it and feel super proud that I made this garden in that way. Now, since a lot of you may be unfamiliar with the way that my landscape is set up, I'm going to show you some aerial footage of all my garden spaces so you can see exactly where the island of Misfit Toys is and also get an idea as to where all the other flower beds are in relation to it. I know sometimes looking from above is extremely helpful, and so since this footage is from exactly this time of year, we can see real time what's colorful, what's growing, what is completely bare, what could be improved upon, etc. All right, time to get outside that fence line. So I've basically been able to work on this space, which is so large, little by little. So I've been planting, weeding, cleaning up, starting some edging, and ultimately we did some planting in here last time you were with me. So I have some coreopsis. I had gotten 3 little small babies that I got from Lowe's on sale. Well, this past week, Home Depot had coreopsis on sale and they were much bigger bigger pots. So I got 2 more of those to really fill in this coreopsis area here because it's kind of empty. Last time you saw, my hostas hadn't leafed out yet, so those are here. And then we have 1 more new baby that I had gotten in the fall that I want to show you that has to get in the ground as well. The reason I made those sound effects when I was talking about planting this baby is because I had gotten this in the fall in a plant clearance sale and I was super excited about it. Every single thing that I purchased was 50% off. Well, this guy's looking a little scraggly now because he's probably root bound and really just needs to get into the ground. Okay, that's not really the scary part. The scary part is the sale I went to, which was at a big nursery, didn't have most of their stuff labeled. So I actually have no idea what this is. It could grow huge. It could be small. I really don't know. One of my guesses is the golden hinoki cypress, which could be 10 or even more feet tall. It could end up being something much smaller. It could be a dwarf variety of something. So it's a gamble when you buy plants like that, and I really don't like to do it. It was super inexpensive, though I don't remember the price tag now, but we're gonna go for it and we're gonna put it out here. It's got its yellow tint to it, again, which I love. And I do have some Anna's Magic Balls, 2 small little round tiny shrubs that are yellow. So I feel like the yellow is kind of gonna be carrying out a little bit throughout here. So I'm gonna go for this baby as well. So here's the basic scoop up here. When we planted the coreopsis, the lithidora, which is blue and just has to be deadheaded so it comes back for some more blooms. This phlox was already here, so we got real colorful in this spot. The daffodil foliage was here when we were here before, but these cannas were not this big, and my hostas down in the front were not that big. The cannas get huge, very tall, and they multiply quite easily. So I'm actually going to be digging out a couple of the canna tubers that are closest to the coreopsis area, and I'm giving them to a neighbor because they spread easily and I have them to share. So that's what the plan is. We're going to start by digging up some cannas, planting in the coreopsis. The weeding is pretty much under control right now, so I just have to water and mulch over here. So this is what we got. We have our bulbs from our daffodils. So these are going to be moved a little bit further back toward the fence where I have some extra space. And then this is the rhizome root of the canna lily. So in this case, the root has expanded sideways and I have 2 pops up. I'm going to leave these attached to each other though, because maybe my neighbor would like them just like this in a row. If not, you can simply snap the rhizome root in half and move them into 2 different spots. With this portion of the garden bed here, I feel like weeding, edging, and mulching is so much of the process. Now everything looks neat and tidy. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go plant way further down that way, but all the in-between is going to get that same treatment. So there I was, just trying to be good and leaving my island of Misfit Toys with the wheelbarrow to go pick up more bags of soil and mulch. And I walked in front of my peninsula garden and saw that all my liriope, liriope, monkey grass really needed to be trimmed. And I had done a whole bunch of them in my yard already, but I hadn't done these ones. And so here I started to do the whole line of them behind me, probably 9 others behind me. Then I thought, I'm spending so much time doing this and I have to get back to the camera. So I decided to just show you what I'm doing. When your old growth of your monkey grass is ready to come off, you can either trim it off, trim off the dead growth or not. It's your call, but it does look more tidy when it's done. And then you can really, really easily see where the new growth is. So it's all this bright, beautiful stuff. Then all this brown dead stuff is what I'm trying to get rid of. And then this is going to ultimately grow up and grow over. So each one of these little plumps, balls, I don't know, was supposed to be like my front edging around my flower bed. It kind of still is, but I keep pulling the flower bed out further and further. So I'm just going to finish doing what I started, and then we're going to get back to planting up that yellow cypress. All right, back to the task at hand. I have some garden soil with me. I have my biotone starter fertilizer with me. And I have what I want to plant. So let's see how root bound our baby is here. It really doesn't look that bad. So I wonder if it was winter that kind of made the foliage die a little bit. Yeah, no, it really does not look bad at all. So I'm out there spreading mulch, and then I could see that there were some bare spots out in the flower bed. No big deal, nothing was planted there yet, and certainly nothing has swooped out and grown out to fill in the space yet. So then I got to thinking, maybe I could just kind of shop in my yard and pick out a couple of things. I'm thinking like some decor of some kind. So we're just gonna pop into the secret garden real quick because I have a feeling that that's where I have a couple things I can grab, and perhaps also grab things like flower pots that nothing's actually planted in, and maybe stick a little bit of color out there. So come on, into the secret garden we go. So this is exactly what I was thinking with the canna lily leaf wrapped around it. I have two of these guys. Now they are not going to make a statement against the black mulch being colored black, but if I spray paint them, I think that'll be it. So let me grab the other one too. So these are my two pieces of decor. Maybe you call them obelisks because they kind of are shaped that way with the point at the top, etc. I went into the garage, I had some red spray paint. I feel very lucky because we have a lot of like random things in our garage for projects. And I have this awesome flower pot that is one of my favorites that I've had for years, that it was just waiting for something to go in. So I'm thinking I'll spray these guys red, add the flower pot, and all of that will at least add some instant color in those blank spaces outside in the island of Misfit Toys. I have decided to put purple heart inside of this flower pot because I think the colors are going to be stunning. If you haven't seen purple heart before, it's something I've talked about. I actually have a video dedicated to it. It's a succulent style plant that is obviously in a vibrant purple color. It is perennial for me here, but it can be grown in so many different ways. You can put it in the ground, you can put it in a pot, you can bring it indoors, you can root it in soil, you can root it in water. It's just so versatile. So because the purple heart is so versatile and easy to grow, let me also say that you can just, you saw me break off a stem and root the stem right into soil. That's what I'm going to do now. You can do the same thing, root it in water, etc. It is like easy to add this pop of color, easy to have it growing all over. Now, if you do choose to grow this plant indoors, it will not have as vibrant of a purple color. That's just the nature of it. It will turn more green. If it gets leggy on you when you have it planted or potted inside the house, simply break off those legs and let it flourish again. These are all pieces that I actually broke off of a huge planter that I have, where I have cordyline and purple heart growing in it. I've had that combination growing together for years now, and I just overwinter it, mostly for the cordyline, honestly. And so I just went in and broke off some snips of that plant, and here I am. So yet again, probably a fairly short video in comparison to the amount of time I actually took outside in this garden. but that is okay. I am just tired and ready to be done for the day. I got enough stuff planted at this point that I'm feeling pretty good about things. And a lot of this garden is also cleaned up. Now I have a lot of fence line, so this garden can technically go wild. I can make it super long all the way down, or I can just shorten it up and kind of just go to where my gate opens up like it is right now. I'm not completely done, clearly, but I'm feeling so much better about as cleaned up and neatened up as we actually are, even this early in the year. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll learn something today. I hope something was like, yeah, inspirational or motivational. Until next time, you guys, happy planting.